Hello and welcome to Minigame Monday. Today is Monday, June 2nd, and we're going to be doing a jigsaw puzzle featuring titles that were in our prototype listing on the website for January 2025 Protospiel Online session. And I'll keep an eye on the chat if you have anything to say. I see that Jack's with us. Hi, Jack. Thanks for joining. And other than that, I'll give you the link to the puzzle too before I open the puzzle up. If you want to solve the puzzle yourself, here is the link to it. All right. We've got a new motif from the one that I was doing, the series that I was doing for August 2024. Just in time for Pride, we've got some bright rainbow colors. Oh, interesting. You might have heard an echo there. Let me see if I can. I'm not as used to Firefox. Where's the sound toggle? I don't know. Oh well. I guess you might hear in the background, it's probably going to be a light, snappy sound. Hopefully it's not too irritating. So this will, if we want to see the image, here it is. It's kind of interesting. It's a little more cut off than I expect this one to be, but that might be a view thing, but I'll read these out loud to get them in my mind and then put the puzzle together. So yeah, this is a lot more scattered. This is actually the first image set that I made, the ones for January. And the fact that they're scattered is a little bit more confusing than in lines or to keep track of or make sure I read them all. But Lord of Mitnall, Bread, Ultimate Monopoly plus Clue in Space with robots and stuff, Meh, Fathomless, Hell of a Leader, Adulting, Orion's Belt, This Is What I Want, Prophecy Quest, Intrusion, Confusion, Tiramisu, Otter, Paws of Anarchy, Hot Dog, A Tower of Our Own, Twin Tarot Tiles, One-on-One Basketball, Chain Breakers, and Untitled Mech Game, and The Cat Prince. Okay, I think I said them all out loud, although maybe not in any kind of particular order. So I'll grab the Edges tool. I'm going to hide the image so it's not in my way. I'll look if I really need to, but yeah, I think that actually, interestingly, that image does not go all the way to the edge of the puzzle image that we're actually going to be doing. Okay, seems likely to be close there. Okay. Oh, basketball, yeah. Yeah, I actually I don't know if you can hear in my microphone that snapping sound as I put it together. I actually like the snapping sound. It's satisfying. But hopefully it's not out of sync with what you're seeing on the screen. And yeah, I would expect. I'm starting the stream a little bit late today because the sound wasn't coming out of my headphone, and I decided to restart the computer. And was coming out of, some of the sound was coming out of my headphone, but I guess not the sound from the sound coming from my Chrome browser, but not the sound coming from my Firefox browser, I guess. Oh, technology. There's so many things that can possibly go wrong that you need to watch out for, especially when streaming or doing any kind of recording of video or audio. Let's see, this is probably the bottom for Lord of Mitnell. That one was one that I did play test. It was a hex grid units on a board battler. This could be meh. Up at the top. Yeah, and one-on-one basketball is also one that is in this bottom corner. It's one that I've play tested as well. That's from Eric Dittmore. And it's actually or as I played it anyway, it's a really fast 2-player card game. So he did a interesting play testing setup where he ran a tournament and actually gave away some of his Protospiel Online badge vouchers to people who won in that tournament. So happy to help with some incentives for him to give away for his playtest. But it was interesting, like a whole, bracket structure. He made a whole bracket structure like March Madness. And twin tarot tiles. So, and even though I would not have really needed the prize if I won it, I still played in the tournament to see how it worked, and I thought it was a really fun way to do an online gathering. So I know that I've seen him do some journal entries, and it's I think different as compared to when I played it, but and Twin Tarot Tiles also has a new name, and I haven't played the new version of it, but I know that it got changed to more explicit. Like, it was kind of themeless. I got to play test it. I don't think I did test it in January. I think it was the session before that, but time bleeds together. It's now more explicitly about fortune tellers battling for control of the narrative, if I'm not mistaken. But it was kind of more like just an abstract, every card is devastating, and you pick 2 to your opponent, and you pick 2 and offer your opponent to choose which one you will not play, which was, I thought, a fun decision space for thinking about, let me pick 2 things that are kind of equally bad for me, so that it's a tough choice for my opponent to choose which one they want to give up. An interesting I split you choose sort of variant or play on I split you choose. Okay. That sort of didn't look like it was ever going to make sense, but that it always works out, I guess. Yeah, it's not possible to drop a piece on the floor with a digital digital implementation. Yeah, and this is the first time I'm putting together one of these, although I did do a test solve with at least one of these layouts that kind of are evoking, rainbow sticky notes on a piece of graph paper. This was a free template in Canva that I improvised, trying to get all the pieces out from under where the edge will be, so I will be able to see them. That would be a nice button to have pushed to the side, the way that they have just show the edges. Because yeah, once the background pieces show up, or once the pieces show up from the background, which the edges put together, hello, last 19 digits of pi. I believe that's Croy. You think it's in sync. You think the clicking sound is in sync with as we do it. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I've also been having like some syncing issues with this computer and streaming, and restarted the computer. So for that reason, I'm hoping that also means that my mouth is in sync with me talking this time. Whereas like I've been having a problem where at the beginning of the stream that's not, and then it catches up. And by the end of the stream, it's fine, but I'd rather have it fine the whole time. Oh, there's like a 3-minute delay to the click sound. Interesting, maybe. I don't know. There's going to be a lot of click sound, right? And it's all kind of the same. I don't know. Is there a 3-minute delay on what I'm saying and my mouth moving? Yeah. That seems extreme, like way more than it was before. With the chat bubbles. Oh, no. That's me. I have to push a button. I have to notice you talk to me. Push a button. So that's not a delay. That's just human error, for lack of a better word. Yeah, that doesn't pop up automatically. It's my choice to feature comments, but I try to feature them all because this is going to be on a replay, and I want anybody who happens to watch the replay to understand what I'm replying to when I speak to you in chat, what you've said in chat. Oh wow, yeah, this is all these like crooked layout words are. I've gotten really used to the straight layout from the August 2024, and this is harder. It's more crazy, but yeah, some of those were, I'd get a section where the piece was exactly even with the words, and I could kind of just put a straight line of a game title together. Chainbreakers. This is a little more challenging. Okay, there's one more. There, breaker. I remember that being close to the bottom. Right here, maybe? Okay. Yeah, and I know, what color was that? I think it was, I'm gonna look. Croy's game is in this. Intrusion Confusion is purple. Okay. So I maybe can confusion. Yeah, and this one is one now I've play tested twice. That was a fun memory from this most recent. So this is the January puzzle, right? So this was tested in January too, but it came back in May. And in the play test that I was in for it, even the way that you would physically set up, it's a social deduction game where you kind of randomize such that there may or may not be a traitor. There may or may not be a traitor, and the way that you do that involves like baggies and cards and such. And Croy was able to set it up so you're very much mocking up the way you would do it if you were physically doing it on the table. And confusion. I can't remember I think it might have been Nick who said, okay, I'm writing this on my impressive digital implementation bingo square right now. And announced that. That was fun. So, and that, yeah, we were simultaneously playtesting Croy because if there's anything I'm playtesting at Protospiel, it's just the whole meta bingo game. But yes, I was happy to find that someone, noticed and remembered that square and actually filled it out as they were experiencing a playtest. And it was really cool. It was a new kind of thing that I had seen done in a digital implementation so far. And it did really evoke, like, I at one time was working on making a murder mystery party that worked like a social deduction game. And so we did a lot of different things. Will helped me too. Will was a good brain. Will, my husband, is a mathematician, and he's a good brain to have involved with things, because you can just kind of approximate that something is going to work-ish, and not be completely broken when you can ask somebody, does this make sense, or what equation could I use to check and see that it's not going to be impossible to win or something like that, or it's not going to be common for it to be impossible or something like that. Those are nice reasons to have math in your corner for board game design, I think. But yeah, I ended up abandoning that pursuit because it was too mechanical and board gamey. And my original goal with the murder mystery party was to make it very approachable and something that you could invite a mixed group of friends to. And I find that social deduction games, especially, well, I wanted it to be very up and about. So Croy's game is a board game with lots of mechanical puzzly. It's a very puzzly game, very on the tabletop kind of game. What I was trying to make initially, I wanted it to use the space, be in your house, walk around your house, and kind of pretend you're in the movie Clue, basically, but with different themed stories. There we go. That's nice, satisfying. So I felt that ultimately a social deduction game wasn't really what I wanted that experience to be. That kind of up and about, very werewolfy, not a lot. Like, I wanted there to be not a lot of pieces on a table, like sticking people to one place. I wanted people to get up and move around. So it was just like you hold a couple of cards, and that was it. By the time the last iteration I did of it, you finished the puzzle. You beat me. What do you think? Did you ever put together the straight line puzzle yourself? Like, do you like this crazy layout more or less? But yeah, I find that up and about puzzle, kind of, you need to play it once and see what you did wrong, then play it again. I didn't feel that way about Intrusion Confusion personally, but I definitely felt that way about the game I was making, and I felt that way about a lot of things, like one from Jelly Bean Games, Dracula's Feast, is very like that. It's a quick game. The first time you play it, you blow it, or usually when I'm teaching people that game, they blow it. They don't understand the explanation until they actually do it. They blow it, and they're like, okay, I want to play again, right? And that's fine for a game, but for like a party kit, I just didn't feel good about that. So I ended up abandoning that idea and finding something else I liked better. But what does Jack say about this? This is the first you've done. The colors and angles are more satisfying to look at. The really different from each other colors, I guess, is what you mean, right? Yeah, the other template that I made, it's much easier to... It was much faster to make the image, because like with this scattered thing that I have going on here, I did a lot of scooching. Scooch. Okay, I need a little more room. Scooch. And it took me along the lines of twice as long to create the image. So this is pause here. yeah, then the straight line one did. So that's there's a factor of like the creation. I'm not opposed to letting someone besides me, make the image, like make the word collage. I just, getting off the ground, I just wanted to make it work. But I need to make the ones for May quite soon. I'd like to get them staged way in advance. So I'm not sure that I would coordinate somebody else making them for the most recent session, but maybe by the time we get around to August. Specifically, games I played are just random sample. Yeah, it's just random sample, sort of. In the whole series of there's going to be a total of 5 of these puzzles. It is all the games that were on the website listing. So the reason you're in here, Croy, is because you put it on the website. And if you filled out, I can't remember for sure, if you filled out the bingo matching details, you'll also be featured in a crossword puzzle, in a later puzzle. But yeah, so the whole series of the 5 Jigsaw puzzles has one instance of every game that was in the January 2025 listing. And then when I do a word search, it's every game that was playtested, every title that was playtested at least once. So I'm getting that from the LFG posts I'm getting it very specifically. I'm getting it from the table that's created as you add your LFG posts to the Discord channel, but it's gonna match the ones that didn't get canceled, the ones that actually got play tested. So yeah, so this is a way for me to feature, this is Orion's belt, these two to go together, to feature the different ways that we can feature your game, and give you a chance to give you different ways to share about your game in a community kind of way. Adulting. This one maybe. Yay. Is this where Brad goes? Oh, yep. It was like sitting right next to where it goes. Yeah, I do like the rainbowy color blocks better than the kind of just blue purple tones, that I had going with the other one. Is this right? Yep. Okay. Pause. I'm not sure if that's right. Hell of a leader. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. That is odd. That doesn't look quite right. Oh, I see. Bread is... Okay. Yeah, the lines of the puzzle also make it a little confusing to see what I'm looking at there. That is part of Hell of a Leader, I'm sure. It goes... I don't know. Huh. Yeah, maybe I can do for... I haven't made the image yet for the May session stuff. So maybe I can do more contrasting colors, maybe not a whole 7 different colors like is going on here, but yeah, but not just a kind of monochrome-ish palette like I did with the August set. Leader of a leader. Ryan, there we go. Quest. Yeah, and a lot. I think as far as like how many of these that I've played. So, and I don't know if you're here at the very beginning, I was saying, I played Twin Tarot Tiles, but not during this session. So games especially that come back more than once are more likely to be games that I have ended up playing at least once, even if I can't talk about how, like, it's the state that it was in at the particular session that I'm doing the puzzle for. I at least will have a little more familiarity with it. Or it's more, I have more chances if you bring it back more than once, basically. That? There we go. Probably over here. But it's interesting to hear that this is the first one. I know you've watched multiple streams, Jack, so it's interesting to hear that this time you were inspired to put it together. Like it was maybe more enticing, the design. But yeah, I think the thing, it's not so much the color that made it time consuming to put together, but it's that things are askew. So that makes it harder to also like make sure I didn't miss a game on the list. Like it's much easier to go down the list and go like, okay. I try to not do them in any kind of particular order. Like I'll grab the list and then if it is in alphabetical order, I'll mix it up or whatever. And I'll also try to mix up the really long names and the really short names. So that's kind of the method to my madness of which ones I put in which. And so, yeah, it's easier to go down the line left to right, top to bottom when they're all straight and they're not like, kind of in different lines with each other to make sure I don't miss putting one in, which is really my most important objective: readability, and that what I am saying is true, that this is a game. This is the whole set of games that were play tested or listed in this case, listed on the prototype listing for that session. Okay, ultimate, right. Ultimate Monopoly play. See, this name is people have been teasing me after we've had a session of Prototype Online since I've been making these puzzles. Just like with ridiculous, like I think Joe Kell made one that's called Joe Kell is Awesome, or that's not actually the name of the game, but that's what it's gonna be called. That's what it's called for the purposes of the listing. I've got some pieces hidden here. Oh my goodness, I lost them. Okay, I'm out of there. Okay. Jack says it's definitely more enticing, but also felt like I needed to take a moment away from work before I cleaned the house and ahead of a game night. It was the day, it was the mood also. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe I'll kind of I'll take the best of both. Both aspects of this one and the previous one and do maybe straight lines, but more varied colors. This is what I want. That one, that's an example of one I don't know very much about. Tiramisu, I haven't played either, but I remember, I believe this is the one that is from Nick Federico and Millrat Games, that it's one of the 5 games in the Kickstarter bundle that we were talking about yesterday on the giveaway live stream. This Is What I Want has had its name changed twice now. What are the other names? Is that your game? Or do you just know? I bet this is down here, maybe? It's been called The Moral Pentalemma and Ornithocracy. Okay. This is what I want is a lot easier to pronounce than either of those. Is this what I want? This is what I want. Is that its current name? Or ornithocracy? Oops, right there. Okay. Ornithocracy is the current name. So that sounds like it's like bird themed. Is that correct? Am I making the right assumption? Okay, I'm hitting my tipping point where it's going to be quick now, I think. There's a lot of this big block of yellow, this giant name. This was maybe the hardest. Here. Yeah, that was also part of my method of making this, was like trying to keep track of, be careful to do a kind of equal amount of each color, right? And like you'll see there's no more than 3 names of the same color. Loosely bird themed. It's about political polarization, but all the issues are bird related. Got it. Okay. So this is what I want also was like, that was talking about voting, basically. Voting for what you want. Okay, I did it. 28 minutes. So, okay, that's my goal, my 30-minute stream here. Not too bad. All right. Well, thanks, chat, for visiting with me. Let me look real quick. Again, I'm going to show you again the puzzle link. That's where that puzzle is. And I don't remember off the top of my head what next week is, so let me look. Okay, that's going to be part 1 of 2 of the crossword. So what I was mentioning before about games that are in the listing and they shared enough detail to be included in the crossword clues. And then I'll also put up another link just to say the next thing that's coming up to pay attention to with our wider community is Panel Spiel Online. This link, protospiel.online/panel spiel. It's where you can go to specifically get on the email list to be the first to know when we have the panel schedule and all the badge, or well, I should say actually probably pass details will be available. That'll be on Twitch, just like we're doing it right now, and with some extra fun stuff to do in the Discord. So we'll keep you posted on that during these streams too. But other than that, I'll be back next week for that crossword puzzle at Minigame Monday. We'll see you next time.